The world of weather is kind of for lack of a better phrase, the calm before the storm, right? We don't have any storms coming our way, but a lot of that wind coming into tomorrow is really going to play a huge role in the fire danger potential.
Yeah, we are definitely going to be looking at increased fire danger on Saturday because of the wind. Now, today we're not going to be seeing wind. It is going to be just an excellent day of weather across eastern Washington and northeast Oregon. Highs today will be primarily into the 80s. Clear skies for absolutely everyone. And again, that wind will be light. That is something that is going to change for the weekend. In Yakima, right now we're at 43 degrees underneath mostly clear skies. Here's a look at your weather headlines today and going forward. We are going to be sunny and hot through Saturday. Tomorrow will feature highs on par with what we did see on Wednesday. As we head into Saturday, specifically Saturday evening, that is when we will be looking at strong wind all the way across eastern Washington and northeast Oregon. Most of us will see wind on Saturday evening gusting between 40 and 50 miles per hour. And then on Sunday, we will be looking at a cool down and wind, although still blustery on Sunday, not quite as strong as Saturday evening. We'll talk more about all three of these weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Walla Walla. A suspect in a fatal hit-and-run crash has turned herself in. According to the Walla Walla Police Department, they responded to reports of a serious crash involving a motorcycle and a passenger vehicle just before 6:45 Saturday evening. Arriving officers found an injured 71-year-old motorcyclist who was transported to a local hospital. He died 4 days later. With the help of multiple witnesses and a picture, police were able to find the suspect's vehicle on Sunday, which led them to a 26-year-old Walla Walla woman who officers believe drove the vehicle at the time of the crash. She ended up turning herself in, and after an interview, she was booked into the Walla Walla County Jail on a felony hit-and-run charge. Detectives with the Pasco Police Department are asking for your help after a shooting outside a nightclub. Police say it happened at around 2:15 Sunday morning near the intersection of 4th Avenue and Columbia Street, which is just north of Club 69. When officers arrived, they found two people with non-life-threatening injuries, and investigators are following up on leads. However, they are asking anyone with video of what happened to contact them. More information can be found up on our website, KEPRtv.com. And a convenience store was burglarized in Richland, and police used flock cameras to track down a suspect. It happened at the Swift shop in the 2000 block of Swift Boulevard a little after 3 in the morning Tuesday. You can see from the picture, the burglars smashed the glass door to get in and took the cash register, lottery scratch-off tickets, and cigarettes on the way out. 3 suspects then took off in a car that had duct tape covering the license plate. However, police used the flock camera system to track the car in Kennewick, and the driver was taken to jail. Now, this is an ongoing investigation, and police ask that you reach out to them on their non-emergency line if you have any information. A man who helped dispose the body of a Yakima Nation murder victim in 2018 is now headed to federal prison. 44-year-old Jamal Antoine Pims was sentenced to 26 months in prison, which will be followed by a year of supervised release. Federal prosecutors say after Jedediah Aisha Moreno shot and killed Resenda Strong in October of 2018, Pims helped him roll Strong's body into a freezer and then dumped her on Highway 97. Pims didn't report the crime to federal law enforcement even when interviewed by the FBI in July of 2019. Fire crews in Columbia County are now getting some help from the state to try to contain a fire near the town of Starbuck along 261. The fire sparked just after 1 Wednesday afternoon and has burned about 200 acres as of last check, and it's still growing, according to the state fire marshal's office. Now, the request for help came from after about 6 hours of fighting the blaze, which is burning in grass and sagebrush. Columbia County Fire District 1 made the call for aid, and now a strike team, hand crew, and a helicopter are on scene to help contain the fire. While the blaze is threatening rangeland and electrical infrastructure, no evacuations are in effect. And so far, there's no word on what caused the fire. There's a new drug spreading across Yakima that's caused dozens of overdoses in just the last week. It's called carfentanil, which is fentanyl laced with an elephant tranquilizer. In the last few days, there have been at least 11 overdoses in Yakima County, and at least in the last week, there have been 31. Carfentanil is 10,000 times more potent than morphine and 100 times more potent than fentanyl.
And as we know, the borders have nearly been completely shut down, so that has ceased the supply of a lot of regular fentanyl coming across the border. And so what is happening is we're seeing it being delivered across the country, and they're suspecting it's coming in from the northern border.
Tobin said an amount of carfentanil similar to the size of 2 grains of sand can be fatal. And many people don't know how to use Narcan, so we asked Safe Yakima Valley to show us how to use it. If you see someone having an overdose, call 911, and if they don't have a pulse, You should follow Alicia's instructions.
And you're literally going to take it and hold it like this, and you're going to administer it into one of the nostrils of the person's nose as far as it'll go, and you're going to dispense the entire product. If you've ever used something like Flonase or a nasal spray when you've had allergies, it's exactly the same. Then you're going to wait 3 minutes. Obviously, hopefully, you're going to be performing CPR if you know how to do so in the interim. And if you don't get a response after 3 minutes, you'd administer another hit of Narcan. And you would continue to do so until first responders arrived or until the person had a pulse.
Now you can reach out to Tobin at Safe Yakima Valley if you would like to have some Narcan to carry around. Despite strong opposition from one council member, the Cle Elum City Council voted to approve taking over ownership of a newly built water, sewer, and stormwater systems in the City Heights housing project. The step is required so people can legally move into those homes. The developer posted a nearly $30,000 bond to cover any issues that may arise within a year. Councilmember Stephen Harper questioned the reliability of the grout injection fix. He compared it to taping a hole in a balloon and said the leak wouldn't exist if the structure had been built properly. Harper had also warned that the city was setting a dangerous precedent by accepting flawed infrastructure and bonding against it.
I stand in extreme opposition to the resolution. I think we need to send a strong message that we will not be bullied into accepting substandard infrastructure that we own for eternity.
Public Works Director Matthew Bailey provided some clarity on the situation.
The infrastructure now has passed all exfiltration testing requirements after all the repairs. So this bonding agent that's designed for this, and per our engineer's recommendation of, wait and see a year, and it's a permanent fix.
Harper tried to delay the vote, but no one seconded his motion. The resolution passed with only Harper voting no. And new housing opportunities will be available in the Tri-Cities. A grand opening for the Falls on 24th took place yesterday morning in Kennewick, unveiling 105 new apartments. The opening comes less than a month after new rent control legislation passed in Olympia, something property management leaders claim will negatively impact tenants.
In the long run, it's going to be a negative impact to tenants, I'm afraid, just because landlords will take precautions like reducing options to tenants in order to protect themselves.
Rent increases for most renters in the Evergreen State are now capped at 7% plus inflation or 10%, whichever is lower. The starting rent at the Falls on the low end for a studio is around $1,100 a month, and at the high end, 2-bedroom apartments are around $1,800. The Bonneville Power Administration is getting ready to install 18 miles of new high-voltage lines in Richland. They announced yesterday an environmental impact study has been completed and is available for review. The project, which would also include a new substation, aims to beef up existing infrastructure in our area. It's part of a bigger plan called the South of Tri-Cities Reinforcement Project. Now that the impact study has been completed, the BPA is asking for your comments. They're also hosting an open house at Cottonwood Elementary School in Kennewick on June 4th at 6 p.m. And finally, if you're looking to get out and enjoy the wonderful weather this weekend, we've got you covered. Happening today in Kennewick, the Columbia Center Rotary is hosting its 7th annual Shine a Light on Human Trafficking event. It starts tonight at 5:30 and goes until 7, featuring a panel of experts who will talk about human trafficking and prevention in the Tri-Cities area. The event is free and any donations will go towards fighting the cause. For folks living in Richland, they can attend the Aviation Career Day and Job Fair at the Richland Airport on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The event is also free and open to the public, offering job and internship opportunities for those interested in the aviation industry. In Ellensburg, the Iron Horsepower Car Show is this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. and going until 4. This fundraiser is free for all ages and will feature live music, games, food, drinks, and of course, cars. All of the proceeds are going to CASA. And sticking in Ellensburg this Saturday, folks can enjoy Justin Buckles Productions' annual drag show. The 3-hour show features 4 different queens. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the show starting at 7 and a 30-minute intermission at 8 p.m. Although the first act is suitable for ages 13 and older, the second act is for adults only. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan to talk the weather for today. Temperatures not too shabby. We're a little bit in that dip in between the high the other day, just a few days ago, and the high tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but we're still going to be warmer than we were yesterday, right? So we're kind of like on the upswing, if you will, into what is going to be the hot day tomorrow. Now, today we will see highs in the mid to upper 80s around eastern Washington and northeast Oregon. Absolutely everybody in the area will see sunshine today. Wind is going to be staying light on this Friday as well. Now, as Dave and I were just discussing, tomorrow is going to be a bit hotter than today. Low to mid 90s are going to be commonplace on Saturday, but Saturday evening will feature the return to pretty strong wind, and that is going to bring some increased fire danger.